What's going on, YouTube? I'm Will Morin, and I'm feeling kind of in the minority right now. So I'm personally very excited for the new Star Wars Rogue One movie, but when I've looked at fan reactions overall across the internet, it doesn't seem like too many people are super psyched for it. So obviously Star Wars hasn't had great luck with spin-off movies. I think the most infamous movies are those Ewok movies from the 80s, and then if you really want to consider the holiday special a spin-off, really, when Star Wars fans think of spin-offs, they think of some of the, not just the worst Star Wars movies they've ever seen, but some of the worst movies they've probably seen overall, objectively. But my thinking is, now that Star Wars is in new hands, we really can't judge these unreleased spin-offs on what the old spin-offs were like until they're actually released and we can take a look at them and judge them face to face. I see the whole movie. Like, I think it's not fair to just judge them on the trailer. The other reason I kind of think that people are hesitant to check out Rogue One and any of the other movies that are coming out is that they're not conventional Star Wars stories. Like Rogue One and the Han Solo movie don't seem like they're going to have a lot of Force, if any. Not a lot of Jedi. I know Darth Vader is going to be in Rogue One, but aside from Darth Vader, there really isn't going to be a lot of use of the Force, magic, Jedi, Sith, these things that we've come to know as the most important parts of the Star Wars universe, and I think that turns a lot of people off. However, the reason that I'm super psyched for Star Wars Rogue One is that it seems to be taking a theme very common to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, or whatever they're calling it now, that kind of hasn't been translated to movies before, and that's the sort of wartime espionage story we see in a lot of those older books and some newer comics. Being a fan of the expanded universe, that kind of got me super psyched for this movie. And we did see this kind of story play out in the original trilogy, obviously, as kind of like a backdrop to the Luke Skywalker story. And if you remember, Princess Leia, aside from being a princess, was also a spy kind of espionage character, similar to the hero of this story, Jyn Erso, who is a spy but not a princess. So obviously she's not as cool as Princess Leia. And when you really think about it, if Princess Leia hadn't been captured in that first scene of New Hope, her story may have played out very similar to what it seems like they're trying to do with Jyn Erso in this movie. So even if it's not intentional, I think it's really cool to kind of look at this Jyn Erso Rogue One story as an alternate Princess Leia path. But I do get the hesitance because I know when I was younger, stories that didn't involve Jedi but that took place in the Star Wars universe never really appealed to me. So I think there's something with some Star Wars fans where if you take the magic out of the universe and only focus on soldiers or bounty hunters or things that have nothing to do with the Jedi and the Sith, some fans get turned off because those really are the big draws for most fans in to the universe. That's what really appeals to a lot of fans. But it would be cool if Rogue One kind of changed that. Like, obviously, I don't think that we're ever going to get to a point where people are like, Jedi and Sith, nah. But no, what I really hope this movie does is kind of open fans' minds and make them think, huh, maybe I should check out those stories that don't have the Jedi and Sith. Because, you know, this Star Wars universe, there's a lot more to it than just the magic and the Force of it, the Force aspect. And that would be really cool if that happened. Another awesome thing about this movie, and I don't know if they got the original actress and are just using CGI or what, but whoever the heck is playing Mon Mothma looks exactly like Mon Mothma from the original trilogy. It's so creepy. Like, it's like they just took the actress from the original movies, transported her to 2016, put a wig on her, and we're like, no, you're not Mon Mothma, even though your wig has the exact same hair as Mon Mothma, you're a different person. And then just told her to be in this movie. It's really weird. I'm also excited to see Darth Vader in this movie because I feel like stories, at least in the comics and books, where it's Darth Vader against a bunch of rebel soldiers, tend to be really cool, because unlike when he fights Luke Skywalker and they're pretty evenly matched, when he's fighting rebel soldiers, you get to see him just decimate them, like just force push and 20 guys just start flying. And that would be a really cool thing to see in a movie with today's kind of CGI technology. And that's probably one of the top things I'm super psyched for visually to see in this movie. But this is the internet. I don't have to be the only one talking. Comment below and let me know if you're psyched, not psyched for this movie, why you're psyched, why you aren't psyched. And while you're there, like, share, comment, and all that other stuff down in the corner, down in that area. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Will Morin, and take care.